Another day, another video of first aid by. Can stress cause fever? First aid by. Stress is a common experience that affects millions of people worldwide. While stress can cause a variety of physical and psychological symptoms, it typically does not cause a fever. However, stress can affect the immune system, making it more difficult for the body to fight off infections and illnesses that can lead to a fever. Understanding the relationship between stress and the immune system. The immune system plays a critical role in protecting the body from harmful pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, and other foreign substances. Stress can affect the immune system by triggering the release of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which can weaken the immune system over time. When the immune system is weakened, the body is more susceptible to infections and illnesses that can cause fever. While stress alone is not typically the direct cause of a fever, it can contribute to the development of a fever by impairing the body's ability to fight off infections. Other factors that can cause fever. Infections, inflammation, and other medical conditions are the most common causes of fever. Infections can be caused by bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites, and can affect any part of the body. Inflammation can also cause fever by triggering the release of immune system chemicals that can raise body temperature. Differentiating stress-induced symptoms from fever symptoms. Stress-induced symptoms and fever symptoms can be difficult to differentiate. Stress can lead to a wide range of physical and psychological symptoms that can sometimes mimic the symptoms of a fever. Common stress symptoms include headaches, fatigue, muscle tension, and difficulty sleeping. Fever symptoms, on the other hand, typically include a higher than normal body temperature, feeling cold and shivering, body aches, general malaise, and sometimes even a rash. While stress can cause a person to feel unwell enough to believe they have a fever, it cannot actually cause a fever. If a person is feeling unwell and believes they have a fever, it is important for them to consult with a medical professional for proper diagnosis and treatment. Treating stress and fever. It is a common misconception that stress cannot cause fever. Although stress cannot directly cause a fever, it can contribute to it indirectly. Stress can cause the body to become weaker and more susceptible to illnesses such as the flu, which in turn can lead to a fever. Stress can also cause the body to produce hormones called cortisol and adrenaline, which can raise the body's temperature. In addition, stress can cause insomnia, which can lead to fatigue and a weakened immune system, which can also make a person more susceptible to illness and fever. In short, while stress cannot directly cause a fever, it can increase the chances of a person developing one. When to see a doctor for stress and fever. If you are experiencing both stress and fever, it is important to seek medical attention. Stress can cause a person's temperature to rise, leading to a fever. In some cases, this fever is a sign of an underlying medical condition. Some of the more common causes of stress-induced fever are infections, autoimmune disorders, and endocrine disorders. If the fever is accompanied by other symptoms such as body aches, fatigue, and chills, it is especially important to seek medical attention. Additionally, if a fever persists for more than 3 days, a doctor should be consulted. It is important to be aware of the signs and symptoms that could indicate a serious health issue and to seek medical attention if necessary. Impact of chronic stress on health. Chronic stress can have a significant negative impact on health. It can weaken the immune system, making it more difficult for the body to fend off illnesses and infections. This can leave a person feeling fatigued and easily overwhelmed. In some cases, chronic stress can even lead to a fever. It is not uncommon for people to experience a fever as a result of chronic stress, as the body is overworked and under stress. When the body is overwhelmed with stress, it can produce hormones that can lead to inflammation, which can cause a fever. If a person is experiencing a fever due to stress, it is important to find ways to manage the stress and reduce its impact on the body. Taking breaks throughout the day, exercising regularly, and getting adequate sleep can all help to reduce the effects of chronic stress and help to maintain overall good health. Psychological impact of stress and fever. Stress and fever can have a significant psychological impact on a person. Stress is a natural response to a threat or challenge, and can be beneficial in the short term. However, long-term stress can lead to physical and mental exhaustion, which can weaken the immune system and make a person more susceptible to illnesses such as fever. While it is not common for stress to directly cause a fever, it can leave individuals more vulnerable to other illnesses that can cause fever. Additionally, the anxiety and depression that can accompany stress can make it more difficult to cope with a fever, as well as the other physical symptoms. It is important to recognize the psychological impact of stress and fever. and to incorporate stress management techniques into one's daily routine in order to maintain optimal physical and mental health. Addressing the root causes of stress and fever. Addressing the root causes of stress and fever involves identifying and addressing the underlying factors contributing to these symptoms. This can include addressing infections and other medical conditions, as well as addressing lifestyle factors such as work-life balance, social support, and self-care. Thanks for watching.